Hello everyone, welcome back to another edition of Indie Book Review, where today I am reviewing Piercing the Celestial Ocean by Kip Koelsch. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I have no idea. But anyway, let's get into this book, shall we? So, this book is basically this whole science versus religion sort of thing. Basically, it's on a whole different planet. From what I understand, it's a bunch of archipelagos that are separated off into certain little countries. Like, one's called Khan, one's called Tunisia? I don't actually remember. Starts with a P. It doesn't matter. Basically, from my understanding, it's just a series of archipelagos, which is kind of neat. You definitely get to see a bit more of the culture as to how people would be in a world full of just archipelagos, no real mainland areas. At least not that these characters are either aware of or just have access to. Anyway, this scientist, Galay, and her assistant, Taru, discover something pretty monumental about the celestial visitors. And naturally, the church is all like, yeah, we're not letting you do that. So her assistant Taru takes off with all the sciencey stuff and ends up on this island. Years later, like many, many years later, Taru has become something of a bit of a legend, as nobody really knows where he went. And this is where the main meat of the story takes place, with Captain Azra as her and her crew and her co-captain / girlfriend, Victoria, try and find the stuff. And fairly early on, they do. And then it's a mad dash to try and figure out what Taru and Glade had been working on, and to just build it themselves. All the while having the church be all like, yeah, no, we're not letting this happen. And chaos ensues. All in all, the plot's actually pretty decent. It kept me interested. Like, the prologue and the epilogue, not so much, because they have very little to do with what's going on throughout the entirety of the book, but they do kind of play a part in their own way as well, and because this is book one of a series, it's definitely going to play its part probably in the second book. Anyway, these characters, I'd like them. I really do. They're a lot of fun. They're interesting. They're fleshed out. They're dynamic. They're way too honest for their own good. Does anybody in this world actually know how to lie or be cunning or try and cheat the system at least a little bit? Because I'm going to be getting into spoilery territory here, because it's the only way that I can actually talk about these characters. Because otherwise it's like frankly, I just won't be able to talk about them. At least the stuff that really stood out to me, without going into spoilery territory. So if you don't want spoilers, just go read the book, and then you can watch this. Otherwise, I'm going to continue forward. Okie dokie? Okay. So, after they find Taru's scientific stuff, they are pretty much attacked by the church right away. And Azra and a bunch of people get away. Victoria gets captured. And Victoria is pretty much shown that the people who captured her, or at least the one who's in charge, is like her. They value science over religion. They want to know the actual answers, not just take a guess at things. Which, that's cool. Victoria buys this immediately. And she gets on the radio with Azra, and Azra just fills her in with everything. Azra's well aware that Victoria was captured. She's well aware that the bad guys, like the church soldiers, are on their ship. Yeah, I'm just going to tell you everything. And Victoria just tells her everything. Everyone just tells them everything. And it's frustrating, because it's like, why? Why would you tell them everything? That's just silly. Why are you doing this? And later on, when they're going on about a ship to reach the sky, And yeah, they definitely don't. I'm going. Yeah, they definitely don't want them to know about that because that could lead to a lot of potential problems. Or if they do find out about that, have them think it's going on a different island, or move their operations to a different island. No, they just don't. They're just, yep, this is what we're doing. This is where we're doing it. And the Admiral. Oh my god, the Admiral. She has zero sense of cunning, like, at all. The church catches on that the Admiral's in on things, and she, instead of trying to be like, well, okay, here's what I'm doing, obviously lying through her teeth with this, yeah, of course I'm going to try and convince them that we're one of them. Because that's how we're going to get answers. That's how we're going to get into their inside. That's how we're going to get to know things. Your guy killed my guy? What the fuck? I kind of want some retribution for that, because that's not okay. No, she just bitches it. She just leaves. And it didn't pull me out of the story, by any means. It really didn't. None of this pulled me out of the story. I just can't help but go, why do you not know how to lie? Or trick? Show some cunning? It might be a cultural thing that just doesn't come up in the book, because why would it? It just stood out to me. Other than that, the world, the characters, the situations, everything they were right up my alley. Everything was done in a very cohesive and realistic way. I liked the book. That's really what it comes down to. I liked the book. All in all, I would actually recommend this book, and I might pick up book 2. I don't know. My reading pile's kind of big right now. Like, I'm not taking on new books until June, because I have to get through my current list. But I mean, if I feel so intrigued, then I'll probably pick up the second book. I did enjoy this one. More than I thought I would after that prologue. Because after the prologue, I really just couldn't care less. But after Taru hit that island, that's when it started to really draw me. And that's when I started to get interested. And I'm glad that I kept going with it. I'm glad that I really read the book. Because I got something that I wasn't expecting, and I'm happy for that. Anyway, that's about all I got for you guys. All in all, I'm going to give this book an 8 out of 10. The characters just not lying kind of really dropped the points. Other than that, I really have no complaints with it. It's good. It's a good book. So yeah, have a good one, folks.